Is there anyone in particular for whom you're rooting?
I'm kind of holding my cards close to the chest on that one. Obviously, I want someone that, right. But I want to be clear on the principles. I will only vote for someone in favor of a balanced budget, against amnesty, ready to get rid of Obamacare, and then ready to fix some of the procedural rules we have in the House. For example, the Hastert rule.
Yes.
And you saw the vote that just took place on the CR that passed with 150 Republicans voting against it and way less voting in favor of it. So the Democrats with a minority of Republicans passing basically the budget of the United States. So that's a disaster.
Yeah, that is a disaster. I was wondering how long the Hastert rule was going to survive once Boehner was out. It seemed as though there'd be a little bit more momentum, easier to get that going, to get that rule out of the way without him there and his influence. So it looks like, are you optimistic that's something that may happen?
Yeah, we have several rules, and the Hastert rule was kind of a recommendation. We didn't make it a formal rule, but we can in our conference.
Right.
And so that's one thing. And then having committee folks pick their chairman for the committees, that's a big deal. And then it sounds boring, but getting back to regular order, which just means I'm on the budget committee, for example. The budget committee has a budget that balances in 10 years. We did good work under Tom Price, our chairman. Then it goes to appropriations. The House passed 5 bills. The Senate passed 1. And the budget collapsed. And so now I ask the press, who's in charge of the budget of the United States of America? And they look at you cross-eyed. They don't have an answer. And so I had a Washington Post reporter today ask me, and she said, would you be in favor if Speaker Boehner just came up with some new caps that broke the caps? And I said, obviously not. We need to get back to regular order. We're representatives of the people, and we need a budget that represents our priorities that flow from the people to their representatives to the budget.
Right.
And so in a way, it's that simple, but it's hard to put in action up here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, very much so. And of course, the Senate with the stopgap measure, at least to continue government, the doors open, funding till to December 11th, excuse me. But then that, of course, I was talking with Congressman Boehner about that. That means that Planned Parenthood funding is going to continue. I would imagine that conservatives like you in the House are none too pleased.
No, that's right. And wait till you see what comes up in December. Again, none of the key committees are in charge right now. A few people in a back room. Barbara Mikulski on the Democrat side somehow is in the room deciding that for us. So that's a little rich. And wait till you see the end. I came in last year, right, on the Omnibus. 1,700 pages. It funded President Obama's unconstitutional amnesty. And now this year, I predicted we'd get the same thing this year, and we are. Right before Christmas break, we'll have an omnibus probably that blows the budget caps, increases the debt ceiling, funds a long-term transportation package without paying for it. And we're going to be forced into a terrible position by our leadership. And that everybody wants to know about the leadership.
Right.
Who got us into this position? And it's leadership. And so that's the American people know we're in the fiscal ditch.
Yeah.
They want to see some new leadership.
Did they at least get anything in return for this?
Well, we're going to see. Speaker Boehner called the vote for next week, Thursday. Our conference just got together with, over 200 members, and we all said, look, let's slow the thing down and get this process right so we can reach unity and compromise. Those two words, I usually, the American people are a little cynical when they hear those, right? It's unity and compromise for something, right? For some set of principles that we believe in. It's not compromise just to compromise.
Right.
And so we were on a good path, but clearly a week, you're not going to solve the world's problems in a week. And so there you go again, and the American people are going to get cynical.
Kevin McCarthy was asked what grade he would give John Boehner. He gave him a B-. What grade would you give him?
Well, leadership as a whole, I'll just say the economic indicators right now, $19 trillion in debt, over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities, all thrown on the back of the next generation, anemic economic growth, less than 2%. We didn't get rid of Obama's amnesty. We have Obamacare in place. We have the EPA and other executive decisions running roughshod over American business, Dodd-Frank, and then the Iran deal. All getting through without a major fight from our leadership. So in general, I think that's an F.